So over the past several years, every camera that I get, I look through less and less of the features, and I have to be quite honest with you, the Hero 9 probably excites me the least of any of the cameras that I've ever had, because all I want to do with this camera is turn it on, push the shutter button, and have it record footage. Alright YouTube, it is that time. The Hero 9 has arrived, and I picked up a floaty case with it. Those of you who have been following my channel will know why I got this. And here's the camera itself. One thing that I will say before I get to unboxing it that I haven't heard any other reviewers say is if you order it from GoPro and you get the free memory card with it, this is what the memory card comes packaged like, and it is very unceremoniously dropped into the box. So when I was going out to my recycle bin to get rid of the box, this happened. So I was throwing out the packaging from the Hero 9, and a memory card fell out of the box onto the ground, which I'm now recording with my phone. I was gonna pull out my phone to record it, but then I said, hey, you know what? I have the Hero 7 in my pocket. So I power it on and this is happening. Oh, it's finally upright. So that's something to be mindful of. It's actually nice to see that GoPro bought these in bulk and isn't wasting all of that extra packaging. But I almost recycled my 32 gig card. If you've received your Hero 9 and threw out your memory card because of this, let me know in the comments. This is the floaty case that I picked up with the Hero 9 because my Hero 7 is sitting at the bottom of a lake. We will get into that later, but for now, let's open up the Hero 9 and see what's inside. I'm about to share my first view of the Hero 9 with you guys. First time this case has been opened, and here we have it. Very nice packaging as usual. We got the subscribe to GoPro thing, quick start instructions, and the manual. Wow, I'll probably never use that. I'll just complain on the internet. Another cable. That's probably 12 of these that I have now. But if they didn't send it, that's when you would need it. They give you one helmet mount, one of the thumb screws, one battery, and one mount. It appears to be the exact same mount that they use for the Hero 7. It's flat instead of glossy, so it's not exactly the same. And here it is, the Hero 9 in all of its glory. Let's pop this out of its protective condom and put a battery in it. That is quite satisfying. I can see why people get addicted to doing unboxing videos. It's well worth the hundreds and hundreds of dollars to peel those protective layers off. All right. I have not owned an 8. My last GoPro was a Hero 7, which I am recording this on. So I don't really know the ins and outs of the 8. Any comparisons that I make unless I specifically say otherwise, will be to the Hero 7 because I have not owned or even seen a Hero 8. So just keep that in mind. It does have the same legs as the Hero 8. Yeah, it does cause me some concern. By the feel of it, they are aluminum. That makes me feel a little better. All right, how do you open this thing up? There is something over here. I think this is where the microphone is. And over here we have the battery door. Let's see if we can operate this without checking the manual. I'm going to pop the battery in. The battery probably doesn't have any charge, so I'll have to cut the video and come back when it has some charge. But let's just slide it in and see. This isn't going to be one of those videos where I blabber on about all the specifications and the battery's bigger and it shoots in 5K and blah blah blah. I think that GoPro's main problem is that they need to focus a whole lot more on putting money into developing their software instead of promoting their products and developing a new product every year. If GoPro put half as much care and attention into developing a good software for their cameras, they would have an unbeatable killer product. They might have that anyway, but at the sacrifice of pissing off a whole bunch of customers who have cameras who constantly seize and crash. I think that the Hero 7 was a wonderful camera, and if only GoPro had decent software, I would have no need for an 8 or a 9. So, after that ramble, let's see if this thing powers on. First time it's powering on. Whoa, what is happening? All right, we'll set this up and see if that weirdness on the front goes away. Easy to use. By using this GoPro, I agree to the terms of use available at GoPro, blah, blah, blah. Disagree. I just wanted to see what would happen if I disagreed. So they don't let you use their product. Even though you buy it, you can't use it if you disagree with the terms. So agree. The date is Saturday, September 19th. If you happen to buy a Hero 4 or a Hero 7, it doesn't really matter if you set the time or date because it doesn't stay the same anyway. That has been my experience. None of my GoPros have ever been able to keep the date or time correct. All right, we got 11% battery. You know what I can do is plug this in if it allows you to. I think it does. All right, you pull that out, you open that up, and I'm going to charge this while we use it. Oh, it switched sideways on us. Now we have it set up, and there we go. The screen has changed so that I can actually see myself, and this is the Hero 7. It definitely switches a lot quicker than the Hero 7 does, he said as it refused to switch. There we go. Way to go, GoPro. It looks like the Hero 9 comes set up in 1080-60 wide, and I think the reason why they put it in 1080-60 wide and not 5K out of the box is because of something that I saw in somebody else's video who was not sponsored by GoPro. If you go to this setting and you choose to go into 5K, wait, how do I get to 5K? 2.7, 4K linear, 1080 Slo-Mo, no limit duration, where I'm confused. Why is there no 5K option here? Isn't that the big selling feature of this camera? Nice. The menu is, I guess, all right. It appears as though they don't have 5K enabled until you do an update maybe. They have a zoom feature. What is this? This button must be for boost. Yeah, hyper smooth boost. It's nice that they have that available right on the front. It's fairly similar to the 7. You swipe across to get to photo or time-lapse mode. So that's nice. Swipe down to get to preferences. Screen off is this, obviously. Status only makes it the same as your Hero 7 or 8 or 4 or 3 and all the rest of them, I assume. Actual screen is... So this shows you what is actually being recorded. And then I think this one crops it or something. Full screen. What does full screen? Oh, so you're not seeing the full image of what you're recording. I don't know why anybody would want that. In all honesty, I will very rarely use this feature. But I guess when I'm shooting intros and outros to my video, I probably will. But this is probably the way my camera will look most of the time, or this, because that uses the least amount of power, and that's usually what I'm mostly concerned about. All right. Let's cut the nonsense. Went a little off the rails there, trying to copy every other reviewer out there who goes on talking about all the features. I'm going to be really honest. The first camera that I purchased was in 1997. It was a clunky Sony cam. I mostly used it for taking photos, but it had a video feature, and the video feature was really crappy. I continued to buy point and shoot cameras, and every one that I would get, I would check through every single menu and every single sub-menu and make sure that I understood every little bit of the camera, every feature, every option. So over the past several years, every camera that I get, I look through less and less of the features, and I have to be quite honest with you, the Hero 9 probably excites me the least of any of the cameras that I've ever had, because all I want to do with this camera is turn it on, push the shutter button, and have it record footage. I could care less about 5K, even though, yeah, you can crop it down. I could care less about time-lapse features and time warp and all that other stuff. 99% of people who buy these cameras are going to want the same thing out of it that I do. You're going to want to be able to turn the camera on, push the shutter button, and have it record accurately and dependably your footage. And then you push the shutter button again, and it stops recording and saves that footage to your memory card. With that being said, I do think that the front-facing screen is very nice on this camera. It's nice to be able to make sure that you're in frame, and also you can tell that you're in the right mode based on how it's framed. In my opinion, they also made a good move when they decided not to shave every single gram off of this camera and make it light as possible. I like the fact that it's a little bit heftier, a little heavier, and a little thicker. Basically, if they would have done that for no reason, I mean, yeah, that'd be stupid, but they've got a bigger, longer lasting battery in there. It's quite durable, and it feels very sturdy and very secure. I'm quite interested in seeing how the camera mic will work. Apparently it's in here, and they have this piece built on to help the water clear out of it quickly. One of the problems that I had with the Hero 7 was that after you're in the water, it could be an hour later or maybe even longer. If there was any water in around the case, then you could get weird muffling sounds. The software in the GoPro was trying to figure out what you did or didn't want to hear, and it would make this weird kind of like you were in a can sound. So all in all, it looks like really good build quality. Again, I haven't used the Hero 8 or even handled one, but it seems to be at least as good, if not better build quality than the 7. Everything seems nice and rugged. The door itself is very well sealed, feels very nice. It's going to take a bit of getting used to pop the door open. The latch is quite aggressive. But I'm imagining as time goes on, the battery door will break in and will become easier to use, but as of now, I like the one better on the 7. That could just be because I'm used to using it. Already just shooting this footage, I'm finding it easier to use, so I'm imagining after a couple of weeks of use, it will be my favorite. One thing that I actually prefer about the 7 over the 8 and 9 is the case that it comes in. A lot of people probably won't agree with me on this. It is a bit of a pain to take in and out when you're trying to change batteries and stuff, but it's well worth it to me for the extra protection that it gives. It doesn't add much bulk, and it's very secure. You can change all different sorts of mounts, and if it does break, well, then you just replace the case. It's very inexpensive, very easy to do. On the flip side of that, both the 8 and 9 have these mounts on the bottom, and if they break off, well, you have to replace the mounts. They're as expensive as a case, and if they don't happen to break in the way that you would hope they would, then you might be in a lot of trouble because they might pull out of the bottom of the camera. The conclusion that I came to while shooting this video is that the 9 may very well be a better camera than the 7 and the 8, but if that is the case, it's not because it shoots in super smooth stabilization 3.0, or that it shoots in 5K, or that it has horizon stabilization, which I believe the 8 has as well. If it is in fact a better camera, I would say the reason for that is because GoPro actually put some thought into making this a beefier, heavier duty action camera. They've also provided us with a longer lasting, larger battery, and that is something that is going to help a lot of us out. As far as a 5K, the average person isn't going to use that, and most of those other features, you're probably going to play with them and show your friends how cool they are, but in the end, if you have a camera that shoots in 1080p, widescreen, and linear, that's all that anybody really needs unless you're a professional photographer or videographer. So the Hero 9 is currently charging up. In the very near future, I will be shooting some footage with this. It won't necessarily be released as a comparison video from the 7 to the 9, but this will be my main camera from here on out. I'm going to continue using the 7 and shooting a video series on life with a Hero 7. I'm also going to do the same thing with the Hero 9, and any little glitches or weird things that come up, I will be sure to let you guys know. Those are my thoughts on the Hero 9. I will be sure to post video updates about it. That's going to be all for now. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.